Hello friends, good evening. Welcome to Sam Biology class. Today we shall discuss about the principles and the applications of sodium dodecyl sulfate polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, also known as SDS patch. Before that, I request all of my friends, please subscribe my YouTube channel and also watch, like and share my videos with your friends. The electrophoretic separation of proteins is most commonly performed in a polyacrylamide gel. The relative rate of movement of proteins in a gel is dependent upon three factors. First one is charge density. First one is charge density. Second one is size. And third one is shape. If two proteins have similar size and shape, then the one which has a higher charge density will migrate rapidly through the gel under the influence of an electric field. Similarly, if they have similar shape and charge density, then the smaller proteins will migrate faster than the larger proteins. The third factor that influences the relative movement of proteins is shape. Globular proteins are compact and roughly spherical. As a result, they experience less frictional resistance during migration. Because of this, globular proteins migrate faster through a gel than fibrous proteins which are elongated. SDS patch is a technique that is widely used to fractionate proteins based on their size. Hence, it is a simple yet powerful and reliable method for molecular mass determination. In this technique, the denatured protein sample is electrophoresed in a discontinuous polyacrylamide gel. Based on their size, proteins migrate at different rates under the influence of the electric field, and as a result, they are separated into distinct bands. In SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, the protein sample is first boiled for 5 minutes in a buffer containing sodium dodecyl sulfate, sodium dodecyl sulfate and beta-mercaptoethanol. Sodium dodecyl sulfate SDS is an anionic detergent. It binds protein molecules uniformly. As a result, all SDS-bound protein molecules have a similar charge to mass ratio. Beta-mercaptoethanol reduces disulfide bridges that may be present within or between polypeptide chains. Disulfide bridges stabilize tertiary and quaternary structure of proteins. By this treatment, protein molecules are completely denatured and opened up into rod-shaped structures which has a series of SDS molecules along the polypeptide chain. If the sample is a oligomeric protein, then the disruption of the interchain disulfide bond by beta-mercaptoethanol will result in the separation of individual subunits. When this denatured protein sample is electrophoresed, two separate bands are formed. All SDS-bound protein molecules have similar charge density. In addition, they also have similar shape. The only difference between them is size. This difference in molecular size is exploited in SDS phase for protein separation. SDS phase is most commonly performed in a discontinuous gel which is composed of two sections. The lower section, known as separating gel, is polymerized from a 8 to 15% acrylamide solution. The concentration of acrylamide in the separating gel depends on the size of molecules to be separated. Because in this gel, sample components are separated or resolved, it is also known as resolving gel. The upper section is called stacking gel, which is polymerized from a 4% acrylamide solution above the separating gel. As compared to the stacking gel, separating gel has a higher percentage of acrylamide. As a result, the pores of separating gel are smaller than the pores of the stacking gel. Because of lower percentage of acrylamide, the pores of the stacking gel are larger. After sample application, when the current is switched on, proteins enter into the stacking gel. In the stacking gel, protein molecules move freely through the larger pores and under the influence of the electric field, they are concentrated or stacked into sharp bands. Hence, this gel is known as the stacking gel. SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis utilizes three different buffers. First one is running buffer, which is present in the upper as well as the lower buffer chamber. It contains only glycine as its anion, and its pH is 8.3. Remaining two buffers are called stacking gel buffer, and remaining two buffers are stacking gel buffer and separating gel buffer. Separating gel buffer. Both of them contains only chloride as the mobile anion. The pH of the stacking gel buffer is 6.8 and that of separating gel is 8.8. This figure illustrates the movement of buffer ions and proteins in a discontinuous gel. As you know, glycine can exist in three different forms such as positive, negative or neutral. In the running buffer, which has a pH of 8.3, glycine occurs primarily in two different forms: a negatively charged glycine ion and a deuter ion. After application of the sample, when the voltage is applied, negatively charged glycine ions present in the running buffer are forced to enter into the stacking gel. The pH of stacking gel is 6.8 and the isoelectric point of glycine is 6.7. So at a pH of 6.8 in the stocking gel, glycine will exist predominantly as deuter ions. Deuter ions are electrically neutral, so they migrate very slowly through the gel under the influence of electric field. By contrast, chloride ions present in the stocking gel have a higher electrophoretic mobility. Because of greater mobility, chloride ions will move rapidly through the stocking gel and will form an ion front that move ahead of glycine. On the other hand, proteins have an intermediate electrophoretic mobility. The mobility of protein sample is greater than that of glycine ions and less than that of chloride ions. Because of intermediate mobility, the protein samples are sandwiched between fast-moving chloride ions, also known as leading ions, and slow-moving glycine ions, also called trailing ions. Because the pores of the stocking gel are larger, under the influence of the electric field, proteins migrate rapidly through the larger pores and get concentrated or stuck into sharp bands. After migrating through the stocking gel, glycine and chloride ions enter into the separating gel. The pH of the separating gel is 8.8. At this pH, the concentration of negatively charged glycine ions increase and both glycine anions and chloride ions move rapidly ahead of protein sample. When the protein sample enters into the resolving gel, they are subjected to the molecular sieving effect. It is due to the presence of smaller pores in the resolving gel than the stocking gel. Because of smaller pore size in the separating gel, proteins of different size are retarded to different extent. The degree of retardation is inversely proportional to the size of a molecule. So larger proteins will be retarded to a greater extent, and as a result, under the influence of the electric field, they will move slowly. Smaller proteins, on the other hand, move freely through the pores of the resolving gel, and as a result, they experience less retardation. Under the influence of the electric field, smaller proteins will migrate rapidly through the resolving gel. So in SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, proteins are separated into distinct bands based on their size. Electrophoresis is usually stopped when the tracking die has reached the opposite end of the gel. So in SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, based on the differences in electrophoretic mobility, proteins of different size can be separated into distinct bands. So in case of SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, proteins are separated based on their size. Electrophoresis is usually stopped when the tracking die has reached the opposite end of the gel. After separation, the slab gel is carefully taken out and is then examined for detection, identification and quantification of the separated components. Friends, this is all about SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. For more updates, subscribe my YouTube channel, Sang Biology Class.